Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Friday, August 14th, 2020. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And of course, we'd like to extend an invitation to any business owners, small businesses, anyone who wants to advertise on the Florida National News platform. We've got our 5 shows to choose from, including this one, the evening news rundown. So if you're interested, just shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com to learn more. In the meantime, we like to give you guys the latest COVID-19 reports globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. So globally, the World Health Organization reports over 20.7 million confirmed cases and over 751,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, Johns Hopkins University is reporting over 5.2 million confirmed cases and over 167,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, the Department of Health is reporting over 563,000 confirmed cases, and we have now broken the 9,000 mark in confirmed deaths. We're actually at 9,100 in terms of confirmed deaths here in the state of Florida. Now, jumping into our world story today, France is now added to UK's list of quarantine countries. You guys heard us report several weeks ago about the different countries in Europe that the UK has added to its list for anyone traveling from those countries that require a 14-day quarantine. So this is an announcement. As of Saturday, people coming to the UK from France and the Netherlands will be forced to quarantine for 14 days, starting from last Saturday. Transport Secretary Grant Shapps said that the measure, which also applies to people traveling from Monaco, Malta, Turks and Caicos, and Aruba. He added that it was necessary to keep the coronavirus infections down. France warned that the UK decision, however, would lead to reciprocal measures across the channel. So we'll see what France does in answer to that. The UK's government decision follows a surge in cases, of course, in the countries affected in the recent days. Airlines UK described the measure as, quote, another devastating blow to the travel industry, already reeling from the worst crisis in its history. With up to 500,000 UK tourists thought to be in France right now, the deadline is expected to induce a rush to ports and airports, with thousands of tourists desperate to avoid the quarantine. So that could possibly cause another hotspot in a way. The UK's ambassador to France, Lord Llewellyn, acknowledged that the new quarantine rule would be, quote, unwelcome news for Britons in the country, but stressed that people could continue with their holidays as long as they follow safety precautions and self-isolate on their return. The Foreign Office is now warning against, quote, all but essential travel to France. So if you don't need to go there, then they're saying don't go there. The Foreign Office also added that there had been a 66% increase in newly reported cases per 100,000 people in France since last Friday, so since a week ago. For the Netherlands, it was up by 52%. And the increase from Malta was 105%, while it was 273% for Turks and Caicos and 1,106% for Aruba. We'll continue to keep you guys posted on all things world and COVID-19. Now, jumping here to the United States, we were just talking about the state of Texas yesterday. The hospitalization tally there has finally fallen below the 7,000 mark for the first time in several weeks. Texas reported the fewer than 7,000 patients for the first time as of Thursday. So that encouraging sign, though, is clouded by questions over testing as schools are starting to reopen. And of course, college football teams are pushing ahead with playing in the fall. Now, testing has decreased in Texas, and that's a trend being seen across the US as health experts worry that people who are not symptomatic are not bothering to take tests because of the long lines and the prospect of waiting days to get their results. So the demand for testing has shortened to the point that in Austin and Dallas, health officials have expanded eligibility for testing, including those who are asymptomatic, because they want to get as many people tested as possible. This summer, COVID-19 deaths have risen by more than 30% just this month in Texas, including 255 new reported deaths as of yesterday. Hospitals on the hard-hit Texas border remain busy with COVID-19 patients, even as doctors statewide are handling thousands of fewer COVID-19 cases than a month ago. Now, the numbers from Texas health officials this week offer kind of a hazy picture of how much testing has decreased. On Wednesday, the 7-day infection rate in Texas hit a record 24%, suggesting that roughly 1 in every 4 COVID-19 tests in Texas came back positive. By Thursday, that number went down to 16%, which state health officials are saying was the result of clearing a backlog of cases and errors in data reported by a hospital and commercial lab. Kind of similar to what happened in the state of California, as you guys heard us report earlier this week. Now, the decreased testing is worrying health experts, even as Texas sees these encouraging signs. So we'll continue to keep you guys posted on where things are going there. Coming here to the state of Florida, Florida police are now giving out face masks instead of speeding tickets. To help stop the spread of COVID-19, the Flagler Beach Police Department is now launching a new initiative that will give motorists stopped for speeding a face mask rather than a pricey ticket. The initiative, called Masks for Motorists, began this week when police officers are offering free masks to motorists stopped for speeding violations on A1A, according to an announcement that the department made on their Facebook page. They said, quote, "This new initiative is a partnership between the Flagler Beach Police Department and our local Florida Department of Health, Flagler." So as we mentioned just now in the quote, that's happening on A1A. The campaign coincides with the new speed limits on A1A. So anyone that's stopped, that's pulled over with the new speed limits, they'll get a mask. This actually launched as of yesterday, August 13th, and will run through the end of August, August 31st. And Flagler Beach Police will be conducting radar operations on A1A to, of course, check for compliance. Officers stopping motorists for speeding offenses will issue written warnings at their discretion. And when the officers issue those, they'll explain the new speed limit zones and offer motorists a 5-pack of free cloth face masks. The goal of the program is to educate motorists on the new speed limits while also providing a free public safety service during the current pandemic crisis. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with some more stories for you.
Big business and special interest groups have begun their attacks on Rick Singh on social media, radio, television. They want to make sure he's no longer in office. Have someone, anyone but Rick Singh in office. And the reason is simple. They don't want to pay their fair share and expect you to pay it for them. Now, the question is, do you want to pay it for them?
Welcome back, everybody. And in our next U.S. story, the Justice Department has ruled that Yale is illegally discriminating against Asian and white students. The Justice Department made that announcement Thursday, accusing Yale University, of course, Ivy League Yale, of illegally discriminating against Asian American and white applicants in its undergraduate admissions process in violation of U.S. civil rights law. Now, the findings are a result of a 2-year investigation in response to a complaint by Asian American groups concerning Yale's conduct. And this is what the Justice Department said in a recent statement. And it said it was prepared to file a lawsuit against Yale if the school in New Haven, Connecticut, did not take remedial measures. Now, a Yale spokeswoman said that the university, quote, categorically denies the allegations, but has cooperated fully with the investigation. The Justice Department made its findings before allowing Yale to provide requested documents, according to Yale. So the Justice Department is saying that although race can be lawfully considered in the college admissions process in limited circumstances, the Justice Department said, quote, Yale's use of race is anything but limited. They said the elite school uses race at multiple steps of its admissions process, resulting in a multiplied effect of race on an applicant's likelihood of admission. The Justice Department has previously filed legal briefs in support of a lawsuit brought by affirmative action opponents, accusing Harvard University also of discriminating against Asian Americans. Now, a federal judge in Boston ruled in favor of Harvard last year, saying that the school's affirmative action program advanced a legitimate interest in having a diverse student body. Affirmative action programs in higher education were meant to address racial discrimination. The Supreme Court has ruled universities may use affirmative action with the aim of helping minority applicants get into college. We continue to keep you guys updated on that. Jumping back here to the state of Florida, the West Nile virus cases are starting to increase. They've increased to 28 so far in Miami-Dade. The Florida Department of Health announced that the infections reached 28 so far. 2 West Nile virus infections in Miami-Dade County caused the public health officials to warn residents yesterday to take preventive measures. The first case in Miami-Dade was reported back in May. And according to the Department of Health, about 1 in 5 who are infected develop a fever and other symptoms such as a headache, pain, and fatigue. And less than 1% of infected people develop a fatal illness. So again, we'll continue to keep you posted on that because that's very important. Now, I'm going to make sure to present to you guys the audience question, going back to the Yale situation. Give us your thoughts on, that the whole discrimination situation. Do you believe that Ivy League schools do discriminate? Do you think that it's fair? Do you agree with affirmative action and using affirmative action for the admissions process to Ivy League schools? Let us know in a comment below. We'd love to hear from you on whichever side of the argument you're on. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business and sports stories.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back. And in our business story today, we're coming a little bit more narrow to Orlando specifically. The first ever small format Target is set to open in Orlando this coming Sunday. It will officially open in the Vineland Point Shopping Center located at 11619 Darrell Carter Parkway. Now, the store, which only spans a size of about 65,000 square feet, will feature apparel, home decor, home essentials, health products, beauty products, personal care, adult beverages, grab-and-go groceries, fresh produce, Starbucks, CVS Pharmacy, and drive-up pickup. Now, Target says that they plan to open more small format stores in places where a full-size store may not fit, such as urban areas, dense suburban neighborhoods, and near college campuses. The store that's going to open on Sunday will be open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The new location will be the 19th store in the Orlando area, employing more than 3,000 team members. Now, they opened their first store in Orlando, Target as a whole, back in 1991. So congrats to Target and congrats to Orlando for being the location of their first ever small form store. Now, jumping into your sports story, we're kind of continuing the college sports saga. So a group of U.S. senators on Thursday morning released a list of items that they see as important rights belonging to college athletes that they hope to soon protect or enforced with federal laws. Now, the College Athletes Bill of Rights intends to provide athletes with a larger voice in the rulemaking process, stronger health and safety standards, extended access to educational opportunities, and more ways to make money, including revenue sharing agreements similar to those in professional sports. Now, these items are designed to be a framework for ongoing conversations about legislation as Congress becomes increasingly involved in imposing new rules on college sports in the coming year. According to Senators Cory Booker and Richard Blumenthal out of New Jersey and Connecticut, respectively, they've led the effort to create the Bill of Rights. Now, NCAA President Mark Emmert and other college sports stakeholders asked Congress earlier this year to help them by creating a law that would set a nationwide standard for how athletes can make money from third-party endorsement deals, commonly referred to as name, image, and likeness deals. Now, multiple states have recently passed these NIL laws, name, image, and likeness laws. Emmert and others believe that differences in those state laws will create an unequal playing field in college sports. So they want to work to kind of level that playing field. The NCAA has asked for a uniform federal law that places some restrictions on NIL opportunities for athletes. Now, to preempt those state laws, Congress will need to act by next July 2021. In a series of hearings this year, several members of Congress have made it clear that they want the NCAA to dramatically increase the benefits college athletes receive if federal lawmakers are going to intervene. They want to make it worth their while. Along with Senators Booker and Blumenthal, at least 9 other senators, including Senator Kamala Harris, Senator Bernie Sanders, and Senator Chris Murphy, they've signed on to support the Bill of Rights. Now, other politicians have expressed concern that Congress might be stepping too far outside of its comfort zone if it tries to enact expansive reforms in college athletics. Congressman Anthony Gonzalez out of Ohio told ESPN earlier this week that he doesn't think federal lawmakers should be involved in governing college sports beyond providing a guideline for NIL deals. Now, Gonzalez, who's a former college and NFL player, has been working on drafting a version of NIL legislation for the past several months. Senators Booker and Blumenthal both said they remain confident that they can generate bipartisan support for the measure, despite all of the senators who signed on initially coming from the Democratic Party. So they're expecting it to be a much larger bipartisan effort. We'll continue to keep you updated there. In the meantime, we're going to take another final commercial break and come back with your entertainment story. Stay tuned.
It takes experience to know the difference in property values. For example, this business is not the same as this business. And this house is definitely not the same as this house. And this, well, this is definitely not the same as this. And that's why it's important to have someone who understands true property appraisals to help our community grow, while making sure everyone pays their fair share. Because experience matters. Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown as we wrap up with your entertainment story. Great news for theater goers. Starting next week, the AMC theaters are reopening their theaters with a whopping 15 cents per ticket. So they're deciding to do that in honor of their anniversary, actually. They are commemorating the centennial, the 100-year anniversary. So AMC is offering movies in 2020 at 1920 prices on opening day. So that's 15 cents per ticket. Great news. So, of course, AMC had closed all of its theaters back in March during the pandemic, when the pandemic really first hit in earnest, and has, you guys have seen the staggered delays for reopening. So AMC added that it expects to open 2/3 of its more than 600 US theater locations by the time Christopher Nolan's Thriller Tenet hits theaters by September 3rd. Now, AMC's other US theaters will open only after authorized to do so by state and local officials. AMC said that it's implementing new safety and health measures to help keep moviegoers safe and curb the spread of COVID-19. That includes requiring all guests to wear masks, lowering theater capacity, so less seating, and upgrading their ventilation systems. So again, congratulations to AMC. They're going to start their reopening process next Thursday, or next week, I should say, August 20th to be specific. All right, guys, that wraps it up for us here at the Evening News Rundown on Florida National News. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us at Florida National News on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And on YouTube, be sure to also click the bell icon to get notifications for all of our shows. And again, for anyone looking for a platform to advertise on, just shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com to find out more information. We'd love to get started with you. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your Friday. Take care.